Hey guys, it's Todd back with you. I haven't made a video in a few months. This one's going to be a little different. I'm still a sports card fanatic, and but this one I want to talk about something completely different, and I hope this is goes over okay. I think it will. Music. I play guitar and a little piano, and my favorite band of all time. Just a little conversation about them. And I have a ton of bands that I really, really, really like, but this one has stood above the rest, and that's the rock band Pearl Jam. They came out, I was a freshman in high school, and I can remember to this day, you know, there were so many Seattle bands and all that. I never got into Nirvana. There's some other bands like Soundgarden that I liked, and Alice in Chains was one that I could really get into, but I never cared for Nirvana. We know how that ended with Kurt Cobain, but Pearl Jam has outsold and outdrawn and outlasted all those bands. They're still together to this day. They're still touring to this day. They've got 11 records, sold over 100 million albums worldwide, and just in my opinion, and this is all just my opinion. Some people are probably going to comment and disagree, and that's okay. I think they are a truly special rock band. And, the real fruit of this conversation is how close it came to not even happening. If you're a fan of them, you may know their story. And, the Mother Love Bone and Andrew Wood overdosed, and then that left Stone Gossard and Jeff Ament, Pearl Jam's bass player and rhythm guitarist, without a singer. And the chance meeting, not the chance meeting with this guy, but Jack Irons was a friend of theirs, and Jack Irons used to drum for the Chili Peppers way back before Chad Smith got the gig. He was over at Gossard and Ament's place, whatever that was, and he was walking out the door. This is literally what happened. It's in their biography. And Stone said, "Hey, Jack, you know of a singer? We've been, putting out the word, but nothing's happened." And he goes, "Yeah, there's this guy Ed down in San Diego that I can get in touch with. Magic." Because at the time, and this may shock people that don't know, Eddie Vedder was working at a gas station overnight and surfing during the day is what he said. And so he flies up to Seattle, and it's like instant chemistry. And, they recorded 10 in no time. They put it out. Initially didn't take off. And then when it did take off, because Nirvana came along and all that. By the way, Pearl Jam's 10 album came out before Nirvana's Nevermind. Because people used to, especially when I was younger in high school, would say, "Oh, they came after Nirvana." I'm like, no, not really. Now, Nirvana had an album previously to Nevermind, but that's another story. So, and they just took off, and when it did take off, it really took off. And at one point, this is something I found interesting. The president of Sony Epic back then was Tommy Mottola, and I'm sure you've heard that name. Very powerful guy in the music industry. Well, he had demanded, pretty much, after they had released Even Flow, Alive, and Jeremy as singles, whatever, made a video, whatever that was, he demanded they release Black, which was probably, the centerpiece of that album. And the band said no. So they sent their manager, Kelly Curtis, to meet with Tommy Mottola. And he told him, said, they're not going to do it. And Mottola said, well, they don't make that decision. And Kelly Curtis, well, I tell you what, if you want to go that far, they'll just quit the label. And Tommy Mottola was shocked. Nobody ever stood up to him like this. He said, you mean they're going to walk away from a record deal? He said, yeah, they'll walk away. They are, Vedder considers that song like a very personal thing. They're not going to release it, and they're not going to make a video for it. That's what he was really pushing for. They wanted to make a video to follow up to Jeremy, which I thought was a great music video at the time. I was really obsessed with it for a while. But it's controversial, based on a true story. Dude shot himself in front of his class. I mean, it's sad, but it's what happened. And so Mottola backed off. And I can remember, those of you that are my age, which means 40s, maybe even late 30s, I don't know, I'm probably not. But I can remember in 1993 when their second album came out, Versus. My mom, against my dad's protest, thank goodness, drove me to the local record store in my hometown, and I bought that cassette in 1993 at midnight. And there was a line completely out the door. And I just feel like we don't have that anymore, which everything's streaming now and all that, but I get it. But I'll never forget putting that album in or cassette and just being blown away. And I was already a huge fan. I've seen them 9 times. And let me tell you about some of the other groups I'm really into, so this doesn't turn into just strictly Pearl Jam. Steely Dan, The Who, The Beatles, Dinosaur Jr., The Pixies, Old 97s, Bright Eyes, Damien Rice, Josh Ritter, Ryan Adams. I can go on and on. I mean, I've got many, many, many acts that I follow. But these guys have always stood above, and they've stood the test of time, Not that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame means much anymore, but they're in there. And, I think it says a lot. I had called my dad recently, and I said, hey, who do you think has sold more albums worldwide? And you guys can check this out. You have to really dig to get the numbers. Prince or Pearl Jam? He goes, oh, it's got to be Prince. I said, no, it's not. I said, Pearl Jam's outsold Prince by 15 million records. He said, there's no way. I said, go look it up. Just dig the numbers out, worldwide sales, not United States. And he did. And he said, man, that's unbelievable. So this is their 30th anniversary together. They're supposed to come down in my area, Fort Lauderdale, I hope, if all goes well, in the summer of 2022, if COVID doesn't screw that up like it does everything else. And it'd be cool to see them again. I haven't seen them it's been a few years, but if you've never seen these guys, I'm going to tell you right now, it's the best live show you probably could see, or one of them. Steely Dan was probably, I saw them in 95 when they were on the Alive in America tour, and my God, I mean, they had all session musicians, and blew me away. They're probably my second favorite band of all time, Steely Dan. If I had to rank them, I don't even know if I could. Steely Dan and the Beatles will be right there together. So just wanted to kind of bring this up, and talk about the beginnings of, Pearl Jam and what they meant to me. They have meant a lot to me over the years. I'm not going to really go into a lot of detail there because it can get really personal, but there have been times when things had happened in my life and I turned to their music for therapy, and it worked. And I'm not sure for me, Todd, that any other band would have been able to work like that if I hadn't, in my position. There's just something about them. And there's people that hate them and don't like them, and I get all that. Nobody's going to like the same bands and all that. But I can tell you this. I've seen them in the United States and out of the United States, and everywhere they go, they sell out. They were down here south of me in Miami a couple years ago. Sold out. Sold out I think it's the United Airlines Center where the Miami Heat play. So to be doing that 30 years into your career, it says something about the band. And, so just give me your feedback. Do you like them? Do you not like them? Did you grow up with them like I did? If you didn't, hey, that's okay. If you hate them, cool. We all differ. That's what makes the world go round. But for me, they have meant they have a special place in my heart, is what I'm saying. And I think that they are a legendary rock band. I think they've proven that. And hopefully, I hope they continue going for another 10, 20 years. They're getting older. I'm getting older. I mean, they're in their 50s now, all of them. And it's kind of crazy because I can remember when the guys were in their 20s. But they stood the test of time. And to me, that's what all great bands do. Do the Beatles matter today? Absolutely. Does Steely Dan matter today? Absolutely. Does The Who, Led Zeppelin? I'm going on and on. And, what's crazy is they're now considered a classic rock band, which makes me feel really old. But if you haven't heard their story and read their biography, they've got a documentary on YouTube, PJ20. Man, it's worth watching because it really goes into detail. They walked away from a lot of money and a lot of fame intentionally. And all the guys in the band are humble as can be. That's what makes them special. So, I'm Todd. Hope this is a little different video for you guys. Thank you, and see you next time. And I'll try to make a video more often than every 2 or 3 months. Thanks.